Hi, I'm Diane Hopkins, and today's video is about how to design your online course to reach all learning types. It's really important to understand how different people learn and what your audience needs you to give them so that they can really absorb what you're sharing and then can go and start implementing it in their lives, because that's what an effective teacher does. So when you're designing an online course or a workshop or a webinar or anything, when you're teaching a group of people in more than a one-on-one situation, then you really need to think about how different people learn differently. So in this video, I'm going to go through the 3 different learning types, give you some examples of how you might recognize those types in yourself and in other people, and give you some tips on how to implement that when you're designing a course, a webinar, or a workshop. When creating a course or online training, have you ever wondered how your audience actually learns? You probably haven't, and most of us don't. That's because we tend to favour our own learning preferences when we teach other people. We assume that everyone learns like us, so we share the information the way we'd like to receive it. The problem is our delivery really matters. We might have the most amazing, helpful information for our audience, but if they can't understand it and receive it in a way that's meaningful to them, then they're going to walk away from your training, your workshop, your course feeling disappointed, and they're not going to get the great value that you really want them to get. There are 3 main types of learners: visual, auditory, or kinesthetic. Now, visual learners learn by reading, they learn by seeing, and they learn by writing. Auditory is the second type of learners. They learn by listening and by speaking. The third type of learners is kinesthetic learners. They learn by doing, by experiencing, by moving. Me, I'm a visual person. So when I'm preparing something to teach to other people, I spend a lot of time with slides, with images and photos and infographics and text that says what I really want to share. That's because I find that really useful when I'm preparing, but also it's because I've noticed when I'm learning something from someone else, when they use visuals, it really helps me learn and retain information, and that I learn better that way. If you pay attention, you can see different learning styles in different teachers. Think about Oprah. She's an auditory learner. She invites teachers on and she asks questions and she listens to the answers, and then she repeats what they've said in her own words just to make sure that we've understood what they've said. And so her learning style is around discussion and conversation and talking things through. But then if you think about someone like Tony Robbins, he's different again. He's a kinesthetic learner. So he's all about high energy, moving on stage, getting his audience to move, getting them to physically do jumping jacks or dancing to music. He likes to get people into their body so they learn through actually physical movement. It's really useful to know your own learning style so you can spot your bias when you're teaching others. Do you enjoy reading books and watching YouTube videos? Then you're probably a visual learner. Do you prefer learning by listening to podcasts and audiobooks? Well, then you're probably an auditory learner. Do you prefer learning by doing exercises, role plays, and watching demonstrations? If so, you're probably a kinesthetic learner. So now you know what type of learner you are. How do you make sure you reach everyone when you're running an online course, training, or workshop? Well, the simple answer is to teach for everyone, teach for all 3 learning types. So how do we do this? Well, for example, if you're running a webinar, an online course, or a workshop training, what you can do is make sure for visual learners you include instructions, images, words, handouts that they can follow when you're teaching them. For auditory learners, you can use your voice. So you can add your audio over slides, you can record a video, you can deliver a live webinar. Kinesthetic learners, give them a worksheet, an exercise, something to do while they're listening to you, and give them breaks so that they can get up and move around a little bit. Today I've shown you what the 3 different learning types are and how you can design your workshops, trainings, and online courses to cater for all learning types. And just to recap, for visual learners, you want to show them what you're teaching. For auditory learners, you want to tell them what you're teaching. And for kinesthetic learners, you want to give them something to do, some action, something physical. Okay, so now I've told you about learning types, and why it's so important to cater for everyone in your audience so that they really understand what it is you're trying to share with them and it actually makes that positive impact on their lives that you really want it to make. So now for your next online course or next webinar training, I want you to go out and see if you can apply those 3 different types when you are creating your content. Click on the link below to access your free learning types checklist that you can use every time you're creating a new course. Hey, this is Diane Hopkins. Thanks for watching. If you're a coach, passionate entrepreneur, or aspiring thought leader, make sure you've subscribed to get my latest videos. And visit my website to read the full blog and access free planners, templates, and cheat sheets that will help you translate your unique expertise into thought-leading content that transforms your audience and builds your business. Bye for now.